Francoise DuPont Middle School is one of the worst schools I've ever seen in any animated series. It's corrupt, discriminatory, the teachers fucking suck, and the principal is an embarrassing delusional 50-year-old furry psych ward escapee who sits on his ass all day, has no sense of dignity, and lets rich kids get away with anything. Francoise DuPont Middle School is a nightmarish hellscape that needs to be studied. And that's what I'm here for today. So how did I come to the conclusion that this school sucks? Let's start with a few facts about this school. It's a public school with 4 teachers working during school hours to teach 7 to 9th grade students. These 4 are the only permanent teachers that we've seen. We have Kaline who teaches French, literature, poetry and history. Then Olga Mendeliev who teaches physics, science and math. I'd fail all her subjects for sure. Armand D'Argencourt is the PE teacher and also does after-school fencing classes. Jean-Pierre Monlading is the art teacher. I don't know if he counts as a permanent teacher, but Fred Haprel is someone who occasionally appears and teaches miming or something. Lastly, there's Marinette's mom who does after-school painting classes. Don't they already have Pierre for that? Anyways, eat him up. Oh, and I think there's also a nurse, but she's barely mentioned. Wasn't her name Sarah? I don't know, we've never seen her. So that's all the teachers. Which begs the question, don't they learn biology? Correct me if I'm wrong for this, because I don't know how the French education system works, but I thought every school taught biology. Lucky bastards. Anyways, let's break down each of these teachers and how they contribute to the mindfuckery of this school, and then we'll move on to the number 1 worst being in the school. Actually, that's debatable, you'll see why. From least to most relevant for my argument, the art teacher is probably the least problematic. He's chill and kinda sweet from everything I've seen of him. Not much to say, I guess he's not a bad one. Armand the PE teacher apparently is obsessed with ideals from medieval times. Big red flag. Not sure why more people aren't talking about this. He's quite forgettable, so I had to do a lot of research on him. According to the MLB wiki, he wanted to run for mayor, but Chloe's father won and he wants revenge or some shit. Not sure if they touched on this beef in the show. Like, I want a mid-off between these two, let's go. He's neutral at best, but I'll keep an eye on him for those medieval ideologies. Like, do you hate women and gays? I mean, you teach 2 gays if you weren't aware. They're bisexual, yes. Sabine, despite being a bad mother for letting her kid get bullied for years without doing anything to help while being aware of it killing her daughter psychologically, seems to be an okay teacher. Is that why she doesn't let Marinette change schools? So they don't question her decision and fire her? Like, do they pay her that good? Gotta afford those alliance rings, I guess. As if the most popular bakery in Paris doesn't help enough financially. Okay, maybe she will stop Lila from getting bullied when she becomes her mother. Because y'all know damn well that's on Lila's bucket list. She says she hates injustice, but by the way she handled Marinette getting bullied, I just know she wouldn't do shit if she saw a kid getting bullied in her class. Oh, I fucking hate certain characters who just see the good in everyone and give too many chances. Like, let's be a little hateful today. Also, this woman believed her daughter's bullies over her when she got framed multiple times. Side-eyeing her and her husband to this day. Not sure why she's allowed to teach kids if she can't take care of her own properly. Next. Mylene's father, the mime teacher, is irrelevant, so we won't talk about him. Moving on to the most problematic ones that destroy the school entirely. The rest of this video is going to be me shitting on ginger-ass Kaline, Mendeliev or whatever her stupid name is, and the owl bastard. Starting with Kaline the ginger. Behind every gay person is a more evil, gay person. Literally in the first episode ever, her introduction is being a bad teacher. When we see her face for the first time, it's after the seat situation and Chloe openly teasing Marinette. Rewatching this, I forgot she was there until they showed her right after. You mean to tell me she's been here this whole time and said nothing? Okay.
Ivan, what is going on?
It's Kim! Oh, I'm so gonna get...
Ivan, go to the principal's office.
Bitch, what? He didn't even do anything. Already a bad first impression. Like, what kind of teacher are you? Not even listening to your student and just telling them to go to the principal's office. On the first day of school? Like, what did she expect him to do when she didn't even give him 10 seconds of her time to let him explain? I hate the gays. Now, the elephant in the room. The Chloe and Lila issue. I never understood why all the teachers let them get away with anything. Like, they could murder someone and still manipulate and blackmail their way out of it with the help of plot armor and everybody's IQ turning into a single digit. Kaline and Chloe. We've seen in Revelation how she apparently never noticed Sabrina doing all the work for Chloe, or Chloe cheating to pass her exams every single for ages. Is she blind like Tomoe? That would be the only logical explanation. Unless she's blind, I don't see how she wouldn't notice. Is she just that incompetent? Oh, I thought you were smart and gave you a chance. Is this another case of character who sees the good in everyone too much and gives the millionth chance, or is she just too lazy to deal with Chloe? And don't get me started on the bullying. Circle back to the example in Stonehurt with Kim and Ivan. There was drama going on in her class and she didn't listen to the victim. Instead silenced them and sent them out of her class. That can sum up her entire teaching career. That's it. It's what she always does with kids who get bullied. She downplays the situation, doesn't listen to the victims, and finds a way to let the bully get away with it. Lila is a different case, so we'll talk about her later. What differentiates her from Chloe up until confrontation is plot armor bullshit. Chloe since day one has used her father as blackmail to end everyone's career if they don't do what she says. And teachers aren't left out of this. We've seen her threaten them time and time again. Most notable examples: derision and confrontation. The episode that is focused on abuse of power. The thing is, this would literally never happen in real life. You as a rich kid with a father whose mayor can't just call him whenever and make them threaten people. That's literally not a thing. Like it's one of the most unrealistic things in the show. And I still don't understand why Chloe is still hellbent on staying at this dumbass school. Doesn't she want more victims if she's that evil? Why does she have to do everything in her daddy's power to make her stay in that school? Take Sabrina with you. I don't fucking know. You're not losing anyone. The mayor can't just fire a teacher at their kid's school for not letting her get away with ruining her classmates' lives. The mayor, no matter how corrupt, would take their kid away to another school, no questions asked. I don't want to get into the Chloe x Andre dynamic too much here because this is about the school, but I wanted to note how weird he is as a plot device. He can't fire anyone for no reason. And in Collusion you can see just how ridiculous the situation gets since Chloe gets him to actually fire people. There's also this scene after the fires the principal and gets off the call. Why is Audrey there and why does he look sad? Oh, please don't make me start. I'll talk about this episode another time because it's a handful. Anyways, with all her enablers, Chloe manages to get away with tormenting people. Even though the teacher can expel her and never let her back in, unlike in Confrontation/Collusion. What's her daddy gonna do? Send bombs? She can change schools or be homeschooled and nobody will know. If Audrey was worried that by getting her daughter suspended for this it'd get out there on the news and spread, all she had to do was homeschool her and hide her and nothing would happen. Unless she wants her daughter to keep tormenting people, which judging by this scene in Revolution isn't true. My head hurts from thinking about the bourgeois family. One last thing before we move on to how Kaline handles Lila. Derision ruins Kaline's character completely. This is what Marinette has been going through and Kaline has seen it all. Zombism makes me mad. She couldn't care less about her students being bullied. Hell, she's bullied them herself. Lila x Kaline. Lila's merry superpowers save her from every awkward situation. None of her lies are realistic and she quite literally confessed to being a pathological liar in this episode. So why do they still think she's a reliable source for anything ever? Are they brain dead? Looks like it. Kaline in Revelation. Confrontation and Collusion is utterly insufferable. I wanted her to die the whole time. I'm sick of her. Fucking coward. Anytime drama happens in class I forget she's in the room until the camera pans to her because she literally just stands there. In Confrontation, Lila gaslights Sabrina in front of anyone. Sabrina goes crazy and Kaline does literally nothing and sends the two girls who she knows have a bad reputation, especially Chloe who she just gave up on in Revelation, to talk to her. Once again, not listening to Sabrina. She's so fucking shocked when she finds out the truth about Lila. Oh, you finally have your IQ back? Fuck you and your apology. Should have expected that from a ginger. She lost her job after the Owl Man because Chloe told the science teacher. Now new principal to fire her? Okay. Speaking of the science teacher, this hoe irritated me from day one just as Kaline. I didn't have enough dirt on Kaline yet to put them in the same category, but I can now proudly say that I can. This bitch treats her students like absolute shit and is so sad when they say they don't want her with them in the New York trip. In Derision she talks to Marinette like absolute fucking shit and embarrasses her and says nothing when Chloe confirmed in front of everyone that she indeed was behind the bugs and the paint. Literally teasing her about it and making sure everyone knows it was her. Plus bullying Rose and Sabrina afterwards and the teacher says nothing. Oh, you need a doctor, baby? You're scared? I don't fucking care. The worst thing about Collusion is the fact that this bitch was never fired. Kaline was. The owl cunt was. but she was still standing. Chloe, I can't forgive you for this. I couldn't forgive you before, but this was the last straw. I was so happy when Kaline and her sugar daddy got fired. I was rooting for Chloe when that happened. Like, yes, free us from these fads. Did us all a favor. I don't know why the class was so sad. Y'all should be grateful the true villains of the show are gone. I don't have much else to say about Miss Glasses except she can die in an accident and I would be so happy. Who fired her? Oh wait. Haha, of course the owl man. Oh, I've been waiting for this. If y'all have seen my adoration video, you already know how much I despise this abomination of a human. I don't think he's a human actually, I think he's a social experiment genuinely. Like, he's so fucking goofy. He cares more about doing his embarrassing owl hero OC cosplay than doing his job. You know, the one he gets paid for. All this hoe does is sit in his dick all day and watch chaos go down. Another one who's scared of Chloe's father. Suck his dick and I'm sure you can sort it out. You need a doctor, baby? You're scared? Fuck you. Now let's talk about all the times this man has expelled/suspended a student from his school and the reason. Starting with Ladybug. I think this is the first time, correct me if I'm wrong. So Lila accuses Marinette of stealing the exam answers, pushing her down the stairs without evidence and stealing her necklace. Again with no true evidence, since she could be the one that put the papers in her bag and the necklace in her locker to frame her, which is what actually happened. The janitor had already cleaned the lockers so they couldn't find any fingerprints. Okay, cameras then. Do you cunts have no cameras anywhere? Like, not a single camera? Check the fucking footage for evidence. Why is rational sense not present anywhere? So yes, after the thief allegations, Kantman kicks Marinette out of his school just like BBC kicked Choo out of Luna. Just like that. Marinette is the Choo and Kantman is the BBC in this situation. Honestly pretty comparable. Despite having no true evidence that she was guilty of anything and not bothering to check the damn cameras, he suspends her, but not for long. Because Lila's merry superpowers saved the day. Next suspension we see is in derision. Kaline is the victim this time. Reason? Chloe nearly gets Marinette killed at the pool the day prior and Kaline brings it up to Principal Kantman. Chloe threatens to call her daddy and he bans Kaline just like the MLB subreddit banned me. So the reason was nothing. He suspended her for nothing. For literally defending her classmate who had a traumatic near-death experience. Would anything be different if she talked to the police instead? Like, that was assault, right? If she brought it up to them instead, would they put her in jail for defending Marinette? Okay. If Principal Kantman was that scared of Chloe's father, he could have just given Kaline detention. Like, as a treat. Literally anything else other than immediate suspension for no reason. That's honestly fucking villainous. It's also so unrealistic. How does that even happen? Like, what was her parents' reaction? Did they not go back to call him out at all for what he did? And the fact that Kaline held no grudges honestly baffles me. Like, look at her in jubilation, bro. It's like he never suspended her last time they met. Unless they met again before this episode and he paid her Elon Musk money to make up for what he did. Is that what happened? Anyway, she's better than me because I would never let this 50-year-old crippling owl furry psych ward escape anywhere near my store. She should have banned him from her store just like he suspended her. Getting fired was not enough. I need him to perish. Nano, please help us. Maybe Lila the Nano wannabe is going to make him suffer in season 6. I would hope so. Next time he suspends someone is in adoration. Guess who? Marinette, of course. Notice how it's always the innocent Asian girls. Is it a coincidence or is it racially motivated? This is basically Ladybug all over again, except Lila isn't present when they confront Marinette for stealing. And they quickly confirm that it was an invisible akumatized person framing her. Were there any consequences for Sabrina, the one who actually stole? Of course not. And Almond breaks the racist allegations with his final suspension in confrontation. I'm kidding. He was forced to do this because they went way too far and got exposed, so he had no other choice. But of course Chloe called her daddy and demanded that both of them would get away with it and stay at the school. Not just her. Also Lila. I forgot to mention how both in Ladybug and this episode Lila's parents are never called. Marinette's parents were present the first time he tried to suspend her, and they were present in adoration, but Lila's parents are never called. Did she go into the office to change her mom's number so he can't reach her? Obviously not according to Heroes Day. So what the hell is up with that? And has the mayor even met Lila's mom? Or anyone? I doubt it. So here is where Chloe tries to save Lila with herself, but only saves herself because Lila is fine with being suspended since she has to go fuck shit up at the other school. I swear everything that happens after this episode feels like a fever dream. And who's responsible? The all furry. Fuck this guy. He can't take his job or the students seriously. All he does is sit on his dick and inject crack cocaine into his veins and jump on trees to embarrass himself. He's literally so embarrassing I don't know how he still has a job. And he's racist too, like pick a fucking struggle. So that's how the staff in Francoise DuPont Middle School ruin their students' lives. Unless their parents are loaded because money always solos. I think Kantman would be great friends with the producer who scammed Kitty section. They're just as embarrassing. This school is doomed and so is every poor child who is cursed with the displeasure of being part of it. It should have been this school that got bombed instead of Hyazen High School. Conclusion? Bring back the death penalty and give almond tweezers for those bushy ass eyebrows.